1, 2.
We're going to say it together?
Yeah. 1, 2.
That's so cheesy.
1, 2, 3. We're back! We're supposed to do it together. We're back, y'all. Sorry it's been a while. Our lives have radically changed. We moved an hour north of Denver, and we're in our new home right now. We bought a new home. So
Our first home.
Our first home. So that's where we've been. That's what we've been doing. We apologize. Please stop yelling at us.
I don't think they care.
But we're excited to make another video for you guys. Today is actually our anniversary.
It's actually not our anniversary.
It's not our anniversary. But the day that this will come out will be
our
anniversary. So this is our 2nd year anniversary. And we thought we'd give each other a high five. But we also thought we would share with you guys 2 things each that we've learned during our 2 years of marriage. So Allie's going to share a thing. I'll share a little thing. She'll share a thing. And then I'll share a thing. And then we'll send you on your merry way. Does that sound like a plan?
That sounds great.
Okay. Well, Allie, what have you learned in 2 years?
I have to start? Really? Do I really want me to go first?
Do you want me to go first?
I kind of do.
You want me to go
No,
first?
okay, I should start.
Okay.
All right. The first thing that I've learned, which I kind of knew was important, but I think it became more tangible when we actually got married, was that investing in your marriage is the most important thing you can do. I think it starts with investing in date nights. Tanner and I have really made it a priority to make date night a priority. And I think when it comes to date night, something that I've thought a lot about too is not just doing the same thing, but actually putting intentional effort into it makes your spouse feel loved. So doing things I like surprising Tanner because I feel like it adds to the excitement of I planned something for you.
And I can't surprise her worth a lick.
But I think that's really important. So investing in your marriage. This also, I think, kind of trickles into your work life a little bit. I ended up just changing jobs, and nothing against the last job, but I think I realized that my job was kind of coming before my marriage, and I really needed to kind of get my priorities straight. And so sometimes investing in your marriage means little things like planning date nights. Sometimes it means big things like finding a new job and doing something that is still equally as beautiful, but also makes time for your spouse because that's your vocation and that should always come first. And that's kind of something I've had to learn being married because I get really invested in my work.
Yeah. Well, you've done a great job. Last night she took me to a vineyard near here, and we had a little wine tasting. It was really nice.
It was very cute.
But sometimes, I think investing means also investing dineros.
Mm-hmm.
This house is an example. Someone said it best to us. I think money comes and goes.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you're investing in your marriage, you'll be safe and sound. So yeah, you've done a good job.
So that's my first piece of advice. It's not really advice, something I learned.
Yeah. Okay, something I've learned, and this is kind of more for the men watching this, but men, you have to fight to remain the spiritual leader of your home. I think we as men, we get a little bit scared or embarrassed when the other person sees all of our faults and all of our gunk in our heart. And so we can feel a little bit ashamed or embarrassed to spiritually lead in the home. Allie has seen me at my worst. She's seen me complain, and she's seen me be angry. She's seen just the worst parts of Tanner. And when she sees that, that makes me feel a little bit embarrassed to offer, us to pray or to go pray a rosary or to go say a holy hour together. It makes me a little bit more timid to do that. And so I have to constantly remind myself, no, as a spiritual head of the family, even though she's seen you at your worst, you need to continue to put yourself out there. And if you look like a hypocrite, well, I guess get in line, join the rest of everyone. So men, fight any discouragement, fight that voice that says you're a hypocrite or you're not worthy to spiritually lead your family, and continue to put yourself out there and try and draw them closer to Christ.
I think also as a wife, seeing Tanner kind of fight through that has been really beautiful and really encouraging to me because I know I'm not perfect. I know Tanner's not perfect, but the desire to keep chasing after God, even through all those imperfections is really attractive and really beautiful. So as a wife, it's beautiful to see your husband fight through that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Well, what is the other thing? The only other thing you've learned during your 2 years of
I've
marriage?
only learned 2 things. I think this one's a big one that I think people learn early on in marriage is how to resolve conflict in a healthy way. A lot of times we don't even realize how we tend to resolve conflict until we're married. A lot of things that have come up in our 2 years of marriage, I'm dang, I didn't even really no, that's how I handled things. It's been really beautiful because Tanner has really like gently pointed out like ways that I can grow. And I've tried to be like really receptive to that, and also asking Tanner to be patient with me as I unravel 26 years, 27 years of like habits of dealing with conflict. So I think, yeah, just learning how to resolve conflict in a healthy way is something that I've really learned.
And that requires a certain level of humility. Because if you don't have the humility to accept that and see that and work on that, then nothing's changing. So
Yeah.
Ali's been super humble, and
I
I'm
try.
very grateful for that. I try to be like her in that way. I'm still struggling, but hey, I'm still gonna keep charging.
Squirmy little worm.
I'm a worm. Is that a psalm?
It's in a song.
Yeah, somewhere in a psalm
I
somewhere.
just read that the other day, actually.
Yeah.
But I'm a worm.
David writes, "I am a worm," and that is truth. But yeah. Newsflash, when you get married, you're not a finished product. And so your marriage is like an aid in helping you become that finished product and being sanctified and divinized to become like Christ. So, okay.
What's your third?
No, my second thing.
Second thing.
My second thing that I've learned in marriage, the only other thing that I've learned in marriage is that your spouse will help you become a better son or daughter, brother or sister. So when Ali has been with me and my family, she has noticed kind of the patterns that I fall into when I'm back with those who have known me for 30 plus years.
And vice versa.
And vice versa. And so she's seen my interactions, and she's seen me like trying to bring them closer to Christ and failing. And she's seen me in my best and my worst with them. And she's been able to kind of call out my behaviors with them and kind of chisel away at maybe some of the bad habits that I just naturally sink into when you're with your closest people. And so because of that, I feel like in the last 2 years, I've been a much more patient son, a much more patient brother. And I feel like my family has only like gotten stronger together by Ali entering into the fold with us.
And reminding him to send his mom a Mother's Day card.
Yeah, I mean, little things like that. Like, sorry, Mom, but yeah, little things like that. She's always thinking ahead, thinking how we can, make our loved ones feel more special. And so she has brought that out of me, where I think without her, I probably wouldn't be doing as good.
So those are 2 things we've learned in the first 2 years of marriage, which is crazy that it's already been 2 years. But now I want to share 2 things that we've learned about each other just for fun. So think off the top of your head, 2 things that you've learned about me in the last 2 years, or maybe the last year.
Okay.
Can I start?
Yeah, please start.
Okay. My first thing that I've learned about Tanner is that he doesn't really come across this way, but he really has a deep desire to be a handyman and like a do-it-yourself guy. And he's really grown in that area. He's kind of becoming a little bit of a handyman. I've seen him install a lot of towel holders. He made his own shelves. He's becoming very crafty.
I'm a bit of a weekend warrior, they say. Soon, you'll be seeing a nice rustic wooden mantle right here. It's gonna be really nice. It's gonna be awesome.
Okay, now you share another thing about me and then I'll share my thing about you.
Okay. Not having thought about this beforehand whatsoever, something in the last year that I have learned about my beautiful bride, Allison Marie Nordstrom Kalina. I am trying to delay and prolong this as my mind is somewhere else, thinking about what I have learned about her. Ali, when she is stressed, she makes beautiful things. When Ali is stressed or sad, she becomes a world-class baker. She becomes a world-class artist and a world-class writer. Her creativity unlocks.
That's fair.
Yeah, that's something I've learned about her.
Okay. My final thing I've learned about Tanner is that some of you might know that Tanner works from home, which is like a remote job. And I feel like on the outside, Tanner comes across as this like very like artistic person. Like maybe he's like out catching a wave or like hiking a mountain, and that's what he does all day. But I've had the beautiful opportunity to sit and listen to him in a lot of his meetings on Zoom calls and stuff like that. And something I learned about Tanner is that he's really kind of like got the corporate lingo down. Like I hear you in meetings and you're like, yeah, can we circle back to that?
Yeah, no,
Can we revisit that later?
I disagree with our current workflow. I would like to rearrange some of our stratagem.
But it's just really funny because like that's not really how Tanner, I think, comes across to a lot of people, but he's really expanded his corporate vocabulary.
Yeah, I'm just sold out for the man, I guess.
Who is Jesus Christ, because you work for the Eucharistic Conference.
But yes. Truth, yeah, I've sold out for Jesus.
That's
hey.
Good.
Okay, and then something else that I have learned about Miss Allison Marie Nordstrom Kalina. I feel like in this last year of marriage, Many times in the last few years, Allie has said, I don't like that thing. Only in this last year to come around and say, I actually really like this thing. Example, meat, cantaloupe, black coffee, all these things that she once totally dismissed. And
I liked black coffee before we got married.
Okay, maybe in the last 2 years.
And meat.
You didn't like black coffee before we got married?
Yeah, I did.
No, ma'am, you did
Yes,
not.
I did.
You were a latte girl.
No.
You were a latte girl.
I wasn't.
But yeah, her taste buds are changing, and I feel like her interests are also changing.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah. So we're excited to be celebrating 2 years of Holy Matrimony. I'm eternally grateful for this great gift and this great woman that I get to spend it with. And so we just want to share with you some things that have been mulling in our brains and some things that have not been mulling in our brains until this very moment with you guys.
If you could say a little prayer for us today, we would be very grateful for that. And we hope that you'll keep watching the videos that are to come because we're ready to get back into it.
Also subscribe, please. I mean, just if you've seen this video,
if you've made it this far,
give us a little click down below. Give us a little like, a little comment. Let us know what your state of life is, what you've learned in marriage, what you've learned in singleness. And give us a little subscribe. And we can't wait to talk to you on the DL.
Bye.